Hey guys, welcome back to the Smith Shiro YouTube channel. Today what we're going to be doing is trying out this new Diesel Geek O2A shifter kit. Now, if you guys have watched any of my videos, you know that I usually just, no matter what, just jump right to swapping in the O2J transmission stuff. So all the cables, the shifter, all that stuff from a newer Mark IV, so like a 99 up to like a 06 kind of deal. And I always do that because everything's readily available. It's great. It works, but there's a lot of people out there that they can't really find that stuff, and that adds another expense. There's a lot of people like this customer who want to retain everything and save a little bit of money. So now Diesel Geek actually has a full kit for the O2A, which it's affordable. I think this was right about $200. So where you think, like, if you buy the O2J stuff, not only do you got to drop the exhaust, all that stuff, you got to make brackets that fit these cars, or you have to buy a polo box and then you have to do a rebuild kit on that. So it gets expensive and labor intensive. Whereas this, it's already in the car. Let's try to make it work. So here you can see that it comes with everything you need out on the transmission side. So most of these parts will be just for the transmission. And then inside the car, they'll have some shifter end link bushings. So you'll actually be fixing the shifter box as well. So right now I have the O2A shifter out. You can see it's cruddy, it's nasty, it's missing a lot of stuff. This is all broken. So first what we got to do is get off this entire shifter assembly. So let's get to that. This is your shifter cable adjustment. As you can see, there was nothing here, so we're just going to go ahead and get rid of that. All you got to do is take a hammer to this black plastic piece, and it should just start coming right out. Pry it out. So there's that, that's gone. You'll never need that again. And then we come over here and we should just have to kind of pry this all off. It's filthy. I'm just gonna take the time and clean this up real quick to make it look nicer for you guys. And then we can go ahead and start installing everything. Got everything all cleaned up. Now we can go ahead and start assembling. The first step in this is going to be installing the sleeve inserts. So these will just go right inside here. Make sure everything's nice and clean in there. Now we have to install the shifter guide. This rounded piece is the shifter guide, and you can see this is the shifter guide boss. It's just gonna slide right on there, grease that up. So you can see it's got a nice squared shoulder. So there's really no way you can mess this up. I mean, I'm sure you could, but just pop it on in. And then they come with nylon locking nuts. You just go ahead and tighten that up. Shouldn't need any Loctite because of the nuts. So then now we can take our shifter guide, and it is going to go outwards, not inwards. So the outwards spot is going to go right down in here and slide around. Go ahead and just slide it on over into place, and then now you can take your bolt, put a little bit of grease on this. I already put some on the bushings. This also has that shouldered head, so it'll just go in and you tighten it on up. Now we're on to the shifter end link portion. Now this is gonna sit in here like this. You're gonna have this adjustment, so I'm just gonna get it snug, but this is how you're going to align the shifter and make sure everything's right. We're gonna go ahead and get this in the car. Make sure that you seal the bottom of this. So you just use some silicone, just plop it in, and then it should just be pretty easy just to drop down in place. Also, ensure that you're in neutral. It can go frontwards, it can go backwards. So make sure you're in neutral, so it should look just like that in the center, and it should be able to spring up and down, no problem. And you just kind of drop it on in. You will have to line up this little cup. Not too big of a deal. We have to remove these bushings that are in both of these end links. So this first one, and they're both pretty easy, but you should just be able to kind of push everything out with a screwdriver. There it goes. Here's the two bushings right here that just popped out. The first bushing is a small one here, and you get this little circlip, so this is just going to slide into here. You slide it over here and put a clip on it just like an O2J. So this should be pretty easy. Slid right on, get the clip. And remember, this is still loose, so we can still adjust the cables. Now down here, this one's a little more complicated. I would say 90% of cars that I see nowadays, they come in and they're missing this bolt. This is a special bolt. Obviously, I don't have it. It wasn't in this car. This was pretty haggard. We're getting it back to working. So this bolt would have a shoulder in it to fit into this bushing nice and snug. And then out of the bottom would be a washer. The bolt would go through, this washer would go right here. So when you tighten it, you're tightening to the washer, to the bolt. So this bushing can still free spin. And if you don't have this washer, it would crush this, and then you would never find gears because the shift cables need to move. This, without this washer, would just bolt it in place and you'd have horrible shifting, all kinds of issues. So being that this car doesn't have that, made a washer out of a sleeve, and that fits in here nice and snug, and then the bolt fits in there nice and snug. And then I just have an extra thick washer. You can get these at the hardware stores. I think this one is actually out of an ARP kit for a 2-liter head stud kit. And then I'm just gonna have it just like that. It's gonna clamp, and you can see the bushing still moves. It's not the bolt moving, it's the bushing. Obviously you gotta grease everything up, but that's how this all goes together. It's just a big sandwich. And now this has an adjustment back and forth. And then when you tighten this up, you should still have wiggle in the bushing. You see it wanting to spin? It has to spin, otherwise it'll be locked up. Now the shifter bracket bolts, these are all very specific. They have a floating washer on the top. If you don't have these, you're gonna have issues as well because it's gonna pull the bushing through. So these all go back there into the shifter. All 3 of these, they're very specific. Ensure you got the right stuff. We're here in the future now on this O2A shifter job, and like many things on this car specifically, things just spiral. So we got the O2A shifter kit installed on the transmission. Everything was great, no issues. Then I go inside the car because I'm like, well, they give us new bushings. Let's do these bushings inside the car. So that's where I was going. And then I pull up the shifter cover, and this is what I see. This shifter has been just mutilated. A nut and bolt through it. Everything's broken, busted, sloppy. So we got a much better condition box, and what I'm going to do right here is I'm going to show you how to replace all those bushings in the car. Just think of this in the car. All this stuff can be done in the car, but I'm just going to be doing it out of the car right now just to show you how easy it is. It's just a little setback. It's just this is what happens when you get old cars, man. It's old cars that have been just ran through. It's this is what you get. It's going to make it easier for me. I'm just going to go ahead and throw a screwdriver in right here, right in the seam, and just pry it out. It's not a big deal. Just reseal it. There's a bunch of these special little tiny clips. Let me get this guy out and just get a hook pick in there and pull it out. So it's a very special clip. Don't lose it. And do the same thing to this other one. Right here in the front, kind of take note where this side to side lever is. So just kind of mark it, scribe it. You can do it with a pick. That way I can put it back in the same spot, and then just take this 13 out. Bolts are different lengths, so the longer one goes in here, shorter one goes in here. Pin is out. Now I have this whole assembly out. Remember, you can do all this in the car. So a couple things here you'll be able to see pretty obvious. The side-to-side selector. This guy has nothing on it, so we'll just have to go ahead and take this guy. He goes into here, put a little bit of grease on it, and pop that right into place. Don't forget how that goes, and then it should just kind of slide off. So this is not in the kit, so make sure you keep it. And you just got to kind of push this in. This has just little tangs to lock it in place. You can see that little tang right there. This is the only tricky part, is that this one has to go in, and you have to put this little circlip in place of it. Slide it into place. Grab the side-to-side spring. You can get that guy into place. And here, just set it in loosely. There we go. So now you can just kind of set that into place, but it needs to lock into place. So I just take a screwdriver and I'll just push it up to where it gets locked into its groove. It's hard to tell, but you can see right there, it is all the way in the groove. It's all the way around. So this side is done. Now for this side, it's even easier. You just pop this guy out. He's out. Take the new one, and it literally just sets in there because it's pressed up against the back side of the housing there. Now let's put in some grease. Send it in. Grab your pin, slide it on in. It should go in relatively smooth. If it's tight, you got a problem, you got to clean something out. So we should just pop it right into place. You got to move these little springs just to kind of push them in. There it is. And remember, long and short screws. Put the long one into here. I have my adjustment point where it was, my mark. I can put it right to it. Make sure everything moves nice and free. Comes right back on side to side. There you go. Make sure you can get into reverse. All right, perfect. Everything up here is done. Now we're gonna go ahead and flip over the entire unit. Screwdriver, and it just pops right out. This large bushing, we are going to put the flat side out. So this is gonna go in just like this. Just like that. So let's go ahead and get this in place. There we go, nice and tight. Get some lube on there. Don't forget your clip. This flat side out. So we just, again, put some lube in here. Bushing inside to be nice and tight. Should be a nice tight fit. Good to go. Now you can seal this if you want, but I think this is fine. Some pliers and just rebend these clips on the side. Keep it in place. Good to go. This box is all complete now. I'm gonna go ahead and throw it back in the car, and then I'll show you how to adjust it. We don't have the tools to adjust it, but I'm gonna show you how you can adjust it without any tools. Now I'm going to show you guys how to actually adjust the shifter on these O2As. One thing important to note is that I don't have the factory tools to lock this into place. All you really have to do is loosen this 13 some, doesn't, you know, just have it snug and then back it off a little bit. And then the same thing with this 13 nut right there. You'll just loosen that to where it's free moving. And then the most important part is to ensure that you're in neutral. To know that you're in neutral, you should just be able to push the shift tower up and down on its own. Just push it straight down. If you cannot push it or pull it up, it's locked in a gear. Then you come inside the car and you need to just ensure, you know, make sure everything's nice and free and get this setting in the neutral position. You can have someone in here physically holding it if you care, but as long as this is dead middle in neutral front to back, it'll be just fine. You tighten up those bolts, it's done, it's good. You'll get every gear. So I'm gonna go ahead and tighten all those bolts up real quick. All right, so I just tightened up those bolts. Now you just make sure you get every gear. There's first, there's second, there's third, fourth, fifth, and then reverse. Got every single gear, no issues. That's how you adjust it. The O2A stuff, it's pretty simple. There wasn't aftermarket support for everything, but now with the Diesel Geek stuff, it works. I think this is a good way to revive your old Mark III, Corrado, whatever you got, instead of doing the O2J conversion. If you can go the O2J route, I highly recommend it, but now cars are just getting hard to find, so it's hard to find that stuff. You're talking another $200-300, then you got to rebuild it, put all the stuff in. This is not a bad option, especially if you want to save some money, and it's still going to work just the same. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.